Okay, so what we're talking about is if you started a junk removal business, what is the advice that you would give people? And Indio, you said
Stay away.
Do not use any SEO services. And why not, Indio? What's going on? What do you think? Why?
I think there's enough information out there in the YouTube University that could help you get through that. You know, yeah. I mean, I would do that. You know, because there's enough people. And that's kind of how I found your page. I just, I'm looking for somebody who I could click with and somebody doing it by themselves. Because I'm doing it by myself. So if I could find somebody and say, okay, I'm doing this by myself, then I want to see how he's doing it because I know I'm busting my butt. If he's busting his butt, I'm busting my butt, and we're both bleeding knuckles and over in our 50s. I want to know what he's doing that I could do and how I could do it better because he did it. He's been doing it longer than me. How can I learn that? So.
Okay.
Find a good mentor. Find somebody you click with.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Really great. So Indio says, stay away from SEO services. You can learn everything at YouTube University. And that is just being on YouTube and finding somebody talking about something that's absolutely free, getting free advice. Okay, great. Great thing. I'm gonna make a list. Stay away from SEO services. All right, Lonnie, what do you think, brother? What do you got?
Okay, I'm gonna go for two things.
Well, Lonnie, you can't be greedy. You can only say one.
Okay, I'm gonna go with one thing.
Okay.
Let's see. Make a list of all the apartments and go to apartments and saying that, hey, you do clean out services for like apartment clean outs, evictions, and property managers in your area.
Property managers. So if you gave advice to somebody, you would say, hey, listen, first thing you should do, go get a list of all the apartments nearby, locally, and property management companies and send some information to them. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm writing that down. Property management. List of apartments, give info. There it is. Number 2. All right. Herrera. What do you think, Herrera?
Yard signs, man. Get yard signs and go put them out everywhere. I got crazy work, when I first started off of yard signs.
You know what? I've heard that, Herrera. I've heard that yard signs are effective. Yard signs have always been effective. It's just dealing with them because people take them up sometimes, and sometimes they last a long time. What's your history with them?
I've had signs gone and less than an hour before. Sometimes it's from the city. I think most of the time it's other junk removal companies because I've put my signs out next to other signs and mine was the only one gone.
Oh shit, that sucks.
And also don't get complacent once calls start coming in. Don't stop marketing. Don't stop putting your signs out just because you're starting to get a few calls.
Yes, that's a good one. But you know what? You said 2 things, bro. You said 2. Oh, you're talking about the signs, right?
Yeah.
Don't stay complacent. Complacent. I hope I spelled that right. Don't say, okay, yard signs. Yard signs are very effective. I've heard they are effective. I've never heard anything really bad about them. They are expensive. I mean, what they cost like $400, $399 or $299 for 100 or something like that, Herrera?
Well, the ones I do, it's just my name and my phone number. I was getting them for $100 for 100, plus shipping. I don't know what they are these days though.
Oh no, they're not that. Not that much. They're not that. No, because I looked into getting some for my haunted house. Yeah, I was gonna get some for the haunted house, and I looked. They were like $2.99. I was like, hell no. I thought they were like $5 for 5 of them. That's what I thought. They're not. They're not cheap at all. They're pricey. They're pricey. All right. Let's see. What we got on here. Henario. So someone asks you for advice. What's the first thing you tell them? to start a junk remote?
Stay away from the brokers like Angie's List and can't think of the other guy's name right now. You know, the brokers that sell you jobs or leads, and everybody fights over the same damn lead.
Thumbtack.
Yeah, Thumbtack.
What's your detailed history about that?
I did Thumbtack and Angie's List and lost money on both. It's just, you know, the same lead goes out to like 7 guys, and it's just a race to the bottom.
And what did you when you did that? Tell them how it works financially. You spend this, and then you get in this. I know how it works, but I want you to tell them.
When I was doing it, it was like $50 a lead, whether you got the job or not. So basically, that's how these companies make their money. They send it to 7 to 10 people, and they charge everybody $50 for the lead, and then you just basically send out your bid, and obviously the lowest man with the bid wins. And you lose money, and they make money.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds really good. That one's a good one. All right, Marco, if a newcomer came up and they asked you for advice, what is something that you would tell them, dude?
I would just say keep it simple, you know, like you don't have to go buy like the $5,000 courses, $100,000 trucks. Just keep it simple with, you know, like a used truck, used trailer, and organic marketing instead of paying for, you know, like how Nadia said, with paid leads and stuff. So kind of just keep it simple.
You know, when I talked to this is great, because when I talked to Marco and his dad, and I met him the first time, that's what we talked about. I said, bro, this business is a really easy business. Let me build you a website. Let's do this. Let's do that. Keep it simple, right?
Yeah, that was literally our first conversation together.
You were doing everything, weren't you?
Yeah, pretty much. All the.
I said, stop doing that shit, bro. Let's just concentrate on doing this. So keeping it simple is correct. I mean, you don't need, when it comes to, and I think what Marco's saying is like, you don't need all that stuff that's online. You just don't need that stuff. And I think we mentioned stuff like SEO services. Nario said, stay away from Angie's List, Thumbtack, stay away from those calendars, you know, Worky, stay away from that stuff. You don't need that stuff. The stuff is out there for free.
But like everyone like promotes all the, you know, like the $100,000 Isuzu trucks and the like, I don't know how much it costs to like wrap the truck like crazy, but yeah, everybody wants to look the part. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. All right, so Matt,
Autopilot.
Go ahead.
What's up with autopilot or whatever that thing Andrew was trying to say?
We'll talk about that in a minute. I want now that you brought that up, I'll do that off screen in a minute. So Matt, you're new to the business, but Matt, you've learned as a process. You've been in a lot of these webinars and stuff. What is something that you've heard us talk about, and maybe something you've implemented and it worked for you, that if somebody came up to you, you would give them this kind of advice?
Stay in your lane. I'm the mod in Andrew's big group, and I'm in all the Facebook groups, and constantly dudes are asking, how do I price this? And this happens to be some shit you have no business doing. It's like a house tear down and a freaking rip out a foundation, all the stuff you need a contractor's license for, pretty much.
Oh, so
how do I haul 800 tires? It's hazmat. You don't touch it.
Right. So you're saying if you don't know how to do it, don't ask questions about it. Don't get advice on it.
Look it up and see if you're even legally allowed to do it, because half the time these dudes are asking, they have no business touching it or talking to those people or nothing.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how to spell that. Do not do huge Matt jobs. I'll just say that, but I know what you're talking about. Things you're not used to. Things you're not used to. Okay. And I'll say my 2 cents. I think one of the most important things, I always tell people this, I say, first thing you want to do is build your website. Before you start a business, build your website, start it, now while you're building your business. That way the website starts already growing up. It starts growing. So like build your website and let it grow while you're still hunting for jobs or doing part-time or still buying a trailer. You're using your dad's truck or whatever it's going on. Build your website right now. At least look semi-professional out there. Look semi-professional. That's what I would say. So immediately build your website is what I'm saying. All right, India, what do you got?
No, you asked me. I was the first one.
I know. We went back to you, bro.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So you got another question? You want this is the second one?
Same thing.
Oh, well, I think the first one was, stay away from SEO. The second one's just see if you can find somebody you could learn from, like a mentor.
Oh, yeah, find a mentor, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
What's one of the most important things that you've learned from one of us in this webinar?
It ain't easy.
Yeah. I think networking, man. By going to your event, I met Henario, so I think networking is important. Even though he's one of my competitors, but he's a good dude, and if we need each other, that's a good thing. Like networking.
You and Henario?
Well, yeah, we haven't done many jobs together, but if I'm on vacation, I send stuff to him. He's on vacation, he sends stuff to me. If we can cover it, great. If we can't, great. But
You're right.
That's what we do.
That's awesome. That is pretty cool, actually. That is pretty cool. Lonnie, what you got, man? This is your second one, Lonnie. I didn't let you say the second one a while ago.
One, find the easy stuff that you can knock out quick.
Oh, like the small stuff.
Yes.
Find small item removal. I think, this is like one of those things that's so underrated, man. It's so underrated, to like market for refrigerators or market for, a small couch removal or TV removal. I think it's so underrated. I think a lot of people miss that point. You know what I mean? And they don't think there's money in these things. And I think this is something like, I think Alex does a lot of small stuff. He started doing a lot of small stuff like this. Oh, well, Alex, you're on. I didn't even fucking see you now. Never mind. All right, Alex, what do you got? If someone came up to you and they asked you for some advice and they're new to the business, what would you say to them?
Actually, you mentioned it as far as starting like with the truck. If you have a vehicle available, just start with that, see where it goes before you invest money into more stuff.
Okay.
Start with the truck, and if you want to add some walls to it, and then see where it goes from there.
That's great advice. That's actually really good advice. That's something that nobody brought up, but that is good advice. I mean, because right off the bat, you're thinking, oh, what kind of truck I'm going to use? What kind of trailer am I going to use? And Alex says, fuck the trailer. Start the truck first. Put some walls on the truck and start from there. And it's good because, like you said, Lonnie, small items fit in the back of a truck. And we're just talking about that, This is for people that are starting out junk removal, how they're going to start it out. What are they going to use? What are some advice that we would give them? And Alex says, start with a small truck. It's perfect. All right, what do you got, Herrera?
I already went.
I know, bro. We're doing it again.
Sorry, bro. I wasn't paying attention.
What'd you say?
I wasn't paying attention.
No, I just another one. What's another one?
Facebook groups. I'm sure that's been said already,
Right. What on Facebook groups, bro?
Huh?
What on Facebook groups? What?
To market your business.
Market your business on Facebook. What's your history on it?
Every day.
Stay consistent.
Yep.
You said that about
bro.
Facebook page, not Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, no, Facebook groups.
Oh, shit.
Facebook groups.
Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Damn it. I can't. Facebook groups. Facebook. You're right. You did say groups. You know, I was and you know, he said this twice already. He said something, and it caught me the first time. I forgot to bring it up, but he said, "Don't get complacent. Don't stay complacent. Keep on doing it." You know, what is that called? It's called a pattern, but it's called something else. So Lonnie, help me out. When you keep on doing something all the time, and consistency. Yep. I was watching this thing about Tom Brady, and people asked him, what is something that makes you the better quarterback, the best quarterback that ever lived? And he said, well, I was always consistent. I would throw 100 balls a day. And on vacation, I would throw 100 balls a day. On days off, I would throw 100 balls a day. In the off season, I would throw 100 balls a day. But he stayed consistent. He was doing the things that other players weren't doing. He stopped worrying so much about what other people did, and what did he do? He just stayed consistent. And that's what a lot of people don't understand that I do. I post consistently. I'm posting every single day. I post a video, a live video. I'm posting for my haunted house videos. I'm posting something, but at least I'm being consistently posting something. If y'all notice, the guy from Forget About It's not posting anymore. Have y'all noticed that? The Forget About guy? I think he interviewed every junk removal company out there, but he hasn't been posting like he normally does. He's like, was constantly always posting stuff, and he's not doing it like he was before when he first started out. You got to be consistent in this business. You got to keep on doing it. You got to be consistent. And that you're absolutely right when you said, do the yard signs. Don't get complacent. When you get business, don't get all cocky and say, hey, I don't need it anymore, because business is going to slow down. And the same thing with Facebook groups. Keep on posting. Keep on. Even if you're not getting jobs, don't get complacent. Keep on being consistent on it, and eventually they will come. So great advice on that one. Good advice. All right, who do we got? Marco, what do you got?
Let's see. I guess just the marketing. Yeah, like you said, stay consistent. Let's see what else I can't think of.
Don't steal someone else's idea, bro.
Yeah, I got you. Let me see. I guess just the customer service.
Focus Work on your customer service.
Yeah, just kind of be like good with your customers. You know, don't mistreat them or anything. Just give them like good deals, good customer service in general. Always like same day service, next day service is probably one of the best things.
Yeah, same day service is the best. Next day and same day is the best. You know, I think offering same day and next day service, I think that's a must be. And you know, these big companies, they don't do that. They don't offer them. They offer them like 3 days down the street. Let me tell you what happened this past week. It was Sunday. I was not working on Sunday. And I got a phone call for a fridge not far from where I was in Dallas. I was helping with the haunted house, and I got a call for a fridge. And my brother had just told me, hey, we're short 2 fridges. Can you at least bring some fridge? I said, I'll bring them on Monday. And then I got a phone call, and I looked up the address, and it was only like 10 miles away. It was like 15 minutes away. So I went to go get the fridge. I went to go pick it up, and I said, I'm gonna bring it back. I could put it in the haunted house in Dallas. No problem. When I was there, I got this ping on my phone that someone booked something. And I think it was like at 3:00. It was after the Cowboys game. It was like 3:15 or something like that the phone pinged that I just looked at the phone. My time was 3:10. The phone pinged like at 3:15, and I looked and I said, okay. I hit the address, and this motherfucking job was 2 miles away on a Sunday, and the lady did same day service. So I booked over. I said, okay, let me see how this is. I booked over. I went around the corner, went across, knocked on the door. I was there in less than 10 minutes. In less than 10 minutes. It only took 2 miles to get there. I knocked on the door, lady. She goes, may I help you? I said, ma'am, you asked for a refrigerator. She goes, what? She goes, I just booked it 10 minutes ago. I said, ma'am, we do a 15-minute service. You know, less than 15 minutes, we do it free. And she goes, what? I go, yeah, we got. She goes, how did you do that? And I said, ma'am, we offer a Sunday 15-minute service. That's how we do it. And she believed me. She was like, honey, the guy's here till 3. He goes, what? You just booked it 5 minutes ago. And she was like, she goes, literally, she had booked it 11 minutes ago, and I was at the door, bro, offering same-day service. I just got lucky. I mean, talk about luck. Talk about luck. I was in an area I haven't picked up a fridge in maybe 2 years, and I just picked up 2 fridges by offering. And she goes, oh my gosh, do you clean out garages? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, I'm going to try to convince my husband. I'll give you a call later on. Boom. So that's where it landed. So offering same day and next day service is killer. It is really, really good. It is really good. All right, Hanario, what do you got, brother? What kind of advice would you give to a newcomer starting junk removal?
Answer your phone.
Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. What a killer of advice on that one. Answering your phone. I think answering your phone is one of the most underrated. You know, guys, it is so important to answer your phone. Have you ever had a situation, Harnario, where the customer calls you and says, I called 3 companies, but nobody answered? Tell me the story. How'd it go?
Well, I don't answer the phones. My wife tells me that all the time, that she picks the phone up and they say, I left messages to the companies. They haven't called me back in a couple of days, or they never call me back, or they don't show up. Stuff like that.
Yeah. So this is, again, another story that happened to me. I have an electrical problem, a small, really small electrical problem in my haunted house. So I'm like, shit, man. I got to call my boy. He's going to charge me too much. I'll just look for somebody on Facebook. So I put electric. Everybody came up. First dude I call, no answer. Second dude I call, it goes straight to voicemail. I'm like, Jesus, at least he has an answering machine. And he's like, Sam's Electrical. Third dude, he picks up the phone. I said, bro, I'm in Fort Worth. I got electrical. The phone starts pinging. Beep, beep. I look, it says Sam's Electric. The guy I just finished calling. The guy, I told him, listen, I got the small electrical problem. Can you come down here? And he said, yeah, I'll be down there. Give me a few hours. And I hired him. About 30 minutes later, the other guy called me. The first guy called. So the first guy that just rang, the second guy, Sam's Electric, had the answering service, and the third guy, the Mexican guy that picked up the phone, I hired him just because he picked up the phone. And the guy charged me only $75 for something really small. But yeah, you got to answer the phone. You got to answer the phone. You got to, man, because it is so underrated, and I think people don't think about that much. Does anybody have a story about answering the phone where somebody said something to you and like something weird like that?
Yeah, I get that all the time. You're the first person to answer the phone.
How many people
I've been calling around, you know, you're the third or fourth person.
God, I hope they didn't call me Herrera. Because Herrera, he's right down the street from me. I give Herrera little small jobs here and there, but I'm like, shit. And then when you don't answer my fucking phone call, you should see me. I go crazy, bro. I think you're avoiding me sometimes, Herrera. I swear to God. Bro, I swear. Bro. I thought you were avoiding me.
If I ever miss your call, man, just send me a message. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have a question.
Me, bro. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Go ahead, India.
So most of us are on the drive. We all driving. Do you guys get calls or messages, let's say that, or text because maybe your number's out there, and you tell these people to call you and they don't call you, man? That's like the most annoying thing for me in the world because I'm driving.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Tell me one more time.
If a customer, instead of them calling you, they text you or they message you. You know, let's say, you know, that they have your number or, you know, like your advertisement, instead of calling you,
they text you.
Yeah, can I get a quote? And I'm like,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Can you call? You know, like, I don't know. That drives me bananas, bro.
You know what I really hate, Indio, is when they send me 10 pictures and they want me to give them a price on a clean out like that. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Give me an address and I'll come by and look at it. I mean,
I got a message from my website the other day. They were like, hey, I got a bunch of boxes and trash bags, 12 by 12. How much? I was like, what am I supposed to do with that, man?
Yeah. No. I lost a job yesterday. Some guy gives me a garage clean out, and he says, "Here's some pictures." And I said, "Okay." I looked at one. He sent me one picture, and I noticed that he's got tires on the left side, like 4 tires, and that the mattress is laying vertical, like this. So that means there's something underneath it, right? And I said, "Well, listen, man, I think it's going to be $275, $300. I mean, you got 4 tires there. You got something underneath the mat." He said, "I got a bid for $200." I said, "Take the bid, man. Take the bid." He goes, "Well, I'll just go with him." And I said, "Well, why are you? You don't need to waste your time with me, brother. I got to go." And he hung up on me. And I'm thinking, whoever took that bid for $200 did not see what's underneath the mattress, didn't see the tires on the side, because easily in the picture it was a $150 job. But I'm thinking, nah, I've played this game before. You know what I mean? I've played this game before.
Hey, can I share your story real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I had a lady text me. She says, I got I got some junk removal on, and they just had I don't know, a $500,000 house built. So she says, I have 2 small piles of dirt. I get over there, man. You need a lift for that, the 2 small piles of dirt that she was talking about. So I don't, like Matt said, I'm not equipped for that, but I'm always up for the challenge. So I go and I check the rentals. So just to rent a skid steer and do all of that, because we do have a dump truck that we could borrow. Hey, just to rent it is $700.
No way.
It's $700, and then you got to drop another $700 just for insurance purposes, and then deliver it. Then the delivery fee and pickup fee is another $250. So now we're like $1,500. So where's the meat on that? So yeah, she said, and then I said, well, how much did you get it for? Oh, somebody's got for $500. That's one story. That's last week. Same week, I went to a condo. I saw everything in the apartment. I gave him a good bid. I was like $1,200. Matter of fact, the contractor said, we think that's a great deal. Somebody came in there, the second or third person came in there and they got the job. I said, I had to ask. I said, I always ask. He says, yeah, some guy said they're gonna do it for $350. He says, yeah, you know what, Indio? I don't think they're gonna come. Can I use you as a backup? Because that's way too low. I'm with you on $1,250. He says, okay. So I called him today. They did show up. And I said, wow, how did they do that for $350? I want their number. He says they're starting their new business now. They're all full-time, have work, and they're called Default something Debris, something like that. But they're starting their new company. So I'm like, man, they're killing the market, bro.
Yeah, that's just one group. Go ahead, Herrera.
I don't have anything.
Well, you were going to say something. Weren't you
No,
going to say?
no, I don't got nothing, bro.
Okay. So it's my turn for this. What would I tell somebody? This one's going to be a pretty difficult one. Be a good salesman. Bro, let me tell you something, bro. I worked with the junk removal guy one time, and holy shit, there's nothing helping this guy. There's nothing that could help this guy. There's just nothing. I went with this guy to 6 or 7 jobs of mine. And I even told him, I said, go ahead, try it. Try to sell them on this. If you're not born with that knack to hustle, you're just not born with that. I don't think it can be adaptable. You know what I mean? When I started first working with Orson, I remember our first few jobs, he was really quiet. Orson was like coming out of his shell, right? His turtle shell. And he saw how aggressive I was as a salesman, that he started adapting and he started learning. And I remember I would go up to houses. I said, Orson, you got this? And he'd go, no, you got this. Okay, I'll go do it. Orson, you got? No, you got this. And it came to a point, he stopped me one time. He goes, let me get this one. I said, shit. All right, let's go. Let's do this estimate. And I kept my mouth shut, and he was good. He was good. There's people that can adapt to being a good salesman, but man, when you see a company that can't sell, you know they're not going to be in this business. They're shy. They don't know how to suck in the customer. They're unaware of their surroundings. They're unaware if they could do the job. And it's really... You remember Herrera? You remember that Herrera, that big job that me, you, and Michelle did? The big one where you stole the truck and I stole all the trailers.
Yeah, out there in Canada.
Yeah. What did you do with the truck anyway, by the way?
I sold it to a junk place because the motor was blown.
Okay. I still have that trailer. I gave that trailer to Manny.
Yeah,
He still uses it.
I know.
Isn't it crazy, bro? He still uses that trailer.
Oh yeah. That was a score right there. What about that Thunderbird?
So that was a $17,000 or $18,000. Do you remember how much it was, bro?
No. You'd have to ask Michelle.
Yeah, you'd have to. So Michelle, it was Michelle's job, and I went with Michelle, and we went to go. Wait a minute. No, that job was my job. That was my job. I'm sorry. It was in Kennedale, Texas, and we showed up, and I had already sweet talked the person and stuff, and they were evicting somebody, blah, 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 yada, yada. Anyway, I told Michelle, do you want a shot at this? And she goes, yeah, let me try it. And this is a big job. I didn't know how big it was or what the price tag. So we go in there, and she was just horrible, bro. She was horrible. They asked her when she can. This is one of the things this is when you're not a good salesman. They asked her, they said, so how long would this job take? And she said, on something like this, we've never really done a big job like this, but I think it'll take like 3 or 4 days to do it. And I'm like, motherfucker, like not sure of herself. And then they said, so how much do you think it's going to be? And she goes, well, let me go and talk to let me check and let me find out, and then I'll get back to you. I'm like, bro, I can hear her, bro. I'm like over here pretending. I'm like staring at the trees, and I can hear her over here babbling, bro. I can hear her babbling. She walks up to me, and she goes, what do you think, Ricardo? I said, don't ever. I told her straight to her face. I said, let me take it from here. You're about to lose this thing. I said, Michelle, there's no confidence in you. There is nothing positive that you've done to get. I was so fucking pissed, bro. Oh, I felt bad for her, bro. She was just she did this on one of her jobs, bro. And I just let her be. And I knew she didn't get the job. I knew this is another day. But I went over there and I told the people, I said, guys, I'll be the one actually doing the job. Michelle works for me. And they're like, okay. And I said, Michelle, just watch me. But stay back. Stay 50 feet. Give me 50 feet. You know what I mean? I said, listen, this would be done in 1 day. It's a 1-day job. It's going to be around $18,000. Let me know what you think. But this is an easy job. I've done them all the time. This is Michelle's first time ever doing them. Don't worry about her. I was just giving her a shot. I made her look like that. I had to tell them that. And they're like, oh, okay. I said, well, we called you because I've seen your videos. And I said, of course, you've seen us doing them all the time. And she was like, and the people felt so much confident, bro. They hired me right there, bro. Like, right, they go, we just want you to do it. They were so frustrated with the laws. They were so frustrated with the evicted people. Just do it. They just said, don't do it. And it was a great property. I called about the property. They were sold it for $350,000. So $18,000 was just a drop in the bucket for them, bro. They inherited that property that their great-grandfather left them. Their great-grandfather left them $350,000 of a property, bro. It was a drop in the bucket just to pay me. You know what I mean? But Michelle, bro, to sell that job, oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Herrera, you know what I'm talking about, bro. You see how Michelle was. You remember Michelle, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you could just tell that she's that type of person. You know what I mean? You could just tell. She was just total. Yeah, you can kind of tell where she's kind of lost all the time, right? She was a little slower than the average person. And I love Michelle. She was great. Good worker, hard ass worker, good hard ass work. But she was kind of slow when it came to things like that. And this was the same thing when it comes to Orson and Jamon, and when they learned how to be better salesmen. And they learned to be better salesmen. I learned from my father. They learned from me. You know what I mean? I was their father, India, I was their father. I was Orson's dad. You know what I mean? He was my eaglet. He kept on saying I was his eaglet. But
hey, that gave me a job the other day.
You what?
He gave me a job the other day. Orson called me up needing a job done in Weatherford.
In where?
In Weatherford.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he don't go out there, man. He don't go out there. That's too far for him. Yeah, that's, I'll tell you something. It's a rarity he would give up jobs anyway. Ever, bro. It's a rarity he would give up jobs anywhere. You know, he's just doing the same things I used to do. I love that. You know what I mean? Where you just, I don't ever lose a job, just give away a job. You know what I mean? So that's a pretty good thing. It's a pretty good. Was it a big job or a small job?
I was a full trailer.
Oh, that's shit. That's pretty good.
Full trailer, 2 big ass couches, and then some little stuff.
Oh, that's great. That's great. You know, it's easily to learn when you're right next to the person that's teaching. You know what I mean? And I've always told Maddie, I said, Maddie, you didn't have a business until you learned from somebody else. You know, you learned what your dad was doing. I gave you a business. And the same thing goes to everybody that's always worked with me. Hey, bro, here's how you do it. Then go off and do it. You know what I mean? Go off and do it. You got to learn from somebody. You got to learn from somebody. But now there's a lot of people closing up shop now, and there's a lot of people opening businesses right now. And I'm like, dude, this is the wrong time. And you know what's good about it is, and I'll tell every newcomer that's called me, you're going to learn a lesson starting a junk removal business in September, August, September, October, and November. You're going to learn a big fucking lesson because those are the slowest ass months of the year. Do we all agree on that? I mean, it's just a slow time period for junk removal. You know, every year it's always my slowest months. My slowest months is those months. So I was totally surprised when Maddie called me and said, "Hey, I got this big old clean out." I was like, "Dude, let's go. Let's do it." You know what I mean? So we got a big job. I'm gonna go help him tomorrow, and I'll take some video and I'll show it for next week and see what happens. You know what I mean? But supposedly it's a big job. I don't know what he priced it at. I don't know what he priced it at. I don't know. He wouldn't tell me yet. He said he wants to tell me personally. So he's kind of excited about it, but you know what's funny? He got on the phone and he said, Dad, I got one. I got a big hoarder house. I got a hoarder house. I said, Maddie, what is it? What is it? He goes, Dad, just look at the pictures. Tell me what you think. And I said, okay. I gave him a price of like $3,500. I don't know what it was. He didn't show me all the pictures. He just showed me like a couple of, I showed y'all like 15 pictures. He showed me like 10 pictures. So I gave him $3,500. And y'all saw the pictures. So I don't know what the bid is going to be right now. I don't know what the price is. He'll tell me tomorrow. He wants to tell me face to face. I think it's something like a stepping stone from him to land a big job. This is the biggest job he's landed ever. You know what I mean? It's a big one. I'm proud of him. He on the phone. He said, Dad, are you going to come tomorrow? Because you know, this is my biggest job I've ever had. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go tomorrow, bro. I'll see you tomorrow. So I guess he wants me to, you know, be proud of him and stuff, which I am. I'm like, but this is like, to me, this is something that's going to be normal for him to follow and do every year. He'll get 2 or 3 of these. And it's just, you know, it's just something that's going to happen normal. I mean, it happens to me all the time, but to him, it hasn't happened. So hopefully it goes out pretty good for him. But anyway. All right, guys, that's it. It's 10 o'clock. I'll see everybody next Tuesday.
Next week, next Tuesday, I want you to give us, at the end of your thing, a tally of what you've been able to, what's your tally on the haunted house? That's what I'm curious about that.
What's my what?
Your tally, man. How much did you invest this year? Because you've been letting us know. I put this month in this room and this month in this.
Wait,
not now, next Tuesday.
How much money I made?
No. You all the investments you made in each room in the haunted house.
Bro, let me tell you something, bro. I could tell you right now, I know everything to the T how much I've spent.
Oh,
everything to the T. I'm gonna tell you something. And just to let you know, the Michael Myers room, I'm writing this shit down. And Myers, let me stop going live so I can tell y'all something about somebody I know.
Okay, cool.
All
you want to know about autopilot too.
How do I end this thing? Stop streaming. All right, cool. So one of the rooms inside the haunted house, if y'all want to know, the